Volcanic eruptions are one of the most powerful forces on Earth. From spectacular lava fountains to deadly explosions, they can bury entire cities under superheated clouds of ash and gas, or turn quiet rivers into seething torrents of mud and debris. Scientists are struggling to understand these unpredictable time bombs.
We were taken by surprise by what turned out to be an unprecedented event.
We'll circle the globe, profiling some of the most significant eruptions of our time, each more devastating than the last, each leading to a potential mega eruption that could change the world as we know it. Eruptions are dramatic reminders that our world is a living planet. Their destructive force is 4 billion years old, a force that commands respect. Volcanoes combine the beauty and the beast, the power to create and to destroy. From the very beginning, they've served a vital function, releasing heat, gas, and minerals from deep beneath the Earth's crust. These byproducts proved vital to human life, creating the Earth's atmosphere. If volcanoes did not exist, neither would we.
To me, they're one of the most beautiful things you can ever witness. But to the people who live under them, they're the most terrifying and destructive thing you can ever witness.
Cameraman Jeff Mackley's mission to film the world's volcanoes comes with risks. On one mountain, he avoided death by moments when a lethal mixture of hot gas and ash just missed him.
It was a loud roar like a freight train, and a pyroclastic flow came down the valley that we'd just been in. So, yeah, another 5 minutes either way, it would have been curtains for us.
Mackley risks his life to record volcanoes' beauty. Others risk theirs to record their power.
Many of us have experiences that could either have gone one way or the other depending upon just something small that happened.
In the past 60 years, volcanic eruptions have killed at least 27 scientists. Even so, their quest for knowledge continues. On average, between 50 and 60 volcanoes erupt every year. About 20 are erupting at any given moment. All are vents in the Earth's surface. Most take place within the Ring of Fire, an area around the Pacific Basin where tectonic plates collide, allowing molten rock or magma to be released. Thick magma loaded with gas triggers explosive eruptions. Thinner magma with less gas is less volatile. To compare and categorize eruptions, scientists have developed the Volcanic Explosivity Index, or VEI scale. Each notch up the scale means a higher ash cloud, more ejected material, and greater explosive energy. The events profiled here begin with a non-explosive eruption and peak with a planet-altering super eruption, one that experts say will eventually happen. Hawaii is a stunning tropical paradise. But under the brilliant sand and lush forests simmers a cauldron of tremendous heat and violence. This is the site of one of the most spectacular volcanic creations on the planet. All of the Hawaiian Islands are volcanoes, built over 70 million years by a powerful geological formation called, appropriately, a hotspot.
A hotspot is a narrow zone which has an excess amount of heat in it. And the heat rises, and relatively near the Earth's surface, this heat melts the rocks, and then that melted rock erupts as lava.
February 1983. Kilauea, on the big island of Hawaii, sends lava fountains 80 meters into the air. Because the magma is thin and doesn't contain much gas, the eruption is not explosive, but it's still dangerous. For 7 years, the eruption continues. The lava inches forward, slow enough to outrun, but totally unstoppable. In February 1990, it reaches the fishing village of Kalapana. Hundreds are evacuated.
It became a very painful experience, actually, to watch this because it was just creeping through town, you know. Every week or so, another block's worth of houses were gone.
Residents have time to pack up their belongings and in some cases their entire homes. Others can only watch as the lava destroys their past.
We moved out that afternoon and 2 days later our home was engulfed by flames. And we were able to watch the lava come into our yard.
By December, the entire village is gone, buried under more than 15 meters of molten rock.
Behind me is the eastern edge of what used to be the town of Kalapana. In 1990, there were about 150 homes out here, and they've been buried by about 5 stories worth of lava.
Despite the hardships caused by the volcano, some Hawaiians see beyond their personal tragedy. They respect the power and the beauty of the lava, a force they worship as a goddess named Pele.
We don't really resent or feel like it was a loss for us because we know that Pele, this is her land, her Aina, and she can come anytime she wants to and go anywhere she wants to.
The Hawaiians were unable to stop Kilauea's enormous lava flow. But 4,800 kilometers away, an entire nation took a desperate stand when a volcano threatened one of their towns. On January 23, 1973, the Eldfell volcano erupts on the Icelandic island of Hime. A slow-moving lava flow more than 10 meters high threatens to engulf the village of Vestmannaeyjar. The majority of the village is evacuated, but a dedicated team stays behind to confront the formidable force. Over 5 months, crews spray approximately 6 million cubic meters of seawater onto the lava flows. Nearly 4 million cubic meters of molten lava is converted into solid rock. The village is saved. Such a Herculean effort is impossible with Kilauea. The flow is simply too great. The lava that destroyed Kalapana plows on, pouring into the sea in a spectacular collision.
Where the lava goes into the ocean, it makes one of probably the most beautiful places on the flow field, but it's also one of the most dangerous.
Below the solidifying lava, unstable sand is prone to sudden and violent collapse.
All of a sudden, all this hot lava is on the surface, it just snaps off, the ocean rushes in, and it creates huge explosions that send gigantic plumes of material up in the air, and they cover maybe 3 or 4 football fields in area, sending out rocks the size of like soccer balls or basketballs all over the area.
This impressive display is a glimpse into prehistoric times when volcanoes first formed land. The same process is still happening today.
It builds new beaches, and then these beaches, the lava then can flow over, and it builds that out, a sequential set of beaches, and then lava flow and beach, lava flow, and it builds out a new piece of land that we call a lava delta.
Since 1983, Kilauea has displaced almost 200 families and destroyed millions of dollars worth of property. In that same time, it's added more than 200 hectares of land to the island, continuing the 70 million year process that created all of Hawaii. It's a stunning example of how a volcano creates and destroys at the same time. Its slowly oozing magma is a permanent threat, but rarely produces a violent explosion. In our next event, thicker magma trapped in a geological powder keg triggers a much more explosive volcanic eruption. Lethal white-hot clouds of gas descend on thousands of people, wiping out an entire Caribbean capital. And later, in our mega-disaster scenario, a supervolcano strikes the heart of Europe, demolishing a major city and casting a shadow over the entire planet. The Stunning lava fountains and flows of Kilauea on the big island of Hawaii both create and destroy, but rarely are lethal. But there are much more explosive and dangerous volcanoes, ones that spew out deadly gas and ash clouds. One such volcano ravaged half a nation and sent 19 to their graves. Montserrat is a lush and tranquil Caribbean retreat. But in 1995, the Soufriere Hills volcano, quiet for nearly 400 years, rumbles back to life. Over the next 2 years, multiple eruptions shoot ash thousands of feet into the air. The capital of Plymouth is evacuated twice. Each time, the residents return, hoping the volcano's rage is over. On June 25th, 1997, those hopes are buried. At 1 p.m., a giant ash cloud erupts nearly 10 kilometers high. In the next 30 minutes, close to 800-degree mixtures of ash and rock race downhill at more than 100 kilometers an hour. The lethal clouds are called pyroclastic flows. Roy Daly lives 3 kilometers from the volcano. He hears the eruption and rushes outside to see the flow racing by him, less than 50 meters away.
Started to feel some heat, and the darkness started to roll over the road. So I got in my car and I sped away like crazy. I drove on top the hill, away from the pyroclastic flow.
The force of the thick mixture of gas, ash and rocks flattens everything in its path. Roy watches helplessly as entire villages are destroyed. He's managed to escape the pyroclastic flows, but he's not out of danger yet.
I was scared to death. I thought I wasn't going to live. It was so dark that if you put your hands to your face, you couldn't see them. Hot ash raining down on you, real hot ash. I felt scared. I couldn't move, I couldn't see, I couldn't breathe properly. So, of course I felt I was going to die. But I was hoping I didn't die, and I didn't.
Roy is finally evacuated by helicopter, but not everyone is able to escape. Dr. Sue Laughlin is the director of the Montserrat Volcano Observatory and a witness to the eruption.
The maximum speed of pyroclastic flows on that day could have been in excess of 150 miles per hour. Even though people saw it coming, there was very little they could do to make their escape.
The nearly 8 million cubic meters of flow covers thousands of square kilometers of land, damages or demolishes more than 100 homes, and destroys the island's only airport. Other than one ferry service, Montserrat is cut off from the rest of the world. But the volcano is not finished. Over the next 4 months, eruptions and pyroclastic flows continue to devastate the island.
We had over 70 explosions in 1 month. Sometimes there were 4 explosions a day. Each explosion generated a mushroom cloud which rose rapidly to great heights above the volcano.